Alright, this is John Cullen with OKRaw.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. Now you guys liked the last episode, right? That I had like the tropical fruit box from Miami Fruit. If you haven't seen that episode, check the link down below for that whole review on some amazing soursop and other tropical fruits I got. But in this episode, I got yet another box from Miami Fruit. Man, Miami Fruit always comes through, this time with one of my favorite foods in the entire world that normally I haven't been able to get unless I literally fly to somewhere tropical and literally hunt on the beach to find a sprouted coconut. So that's what's in this box, sprouted coconuts, and they're the easiest sprouted coconuts you guys will ever find. I mean, I could tell you guys stories about like coconuts I found on the beach in St. Lucia in like the Caribbean, and basically I had no tools and I basically husked all these sprouted coconuts with nothing but rocks, and it took me hours to bring back a sack of coconuts, onto the cruise ship that I was staying on, so not food. Anyways, in this episode, it's a lot easier. All we gotta do is open a box here. So first, let me go ahead and open this box up for you guys. Now this box is heavy. This is probably like an extra large size box. This box happens to weigh like, I don't know, 23 pounds, I think. Definitely a nice hefty weight. Let's go ahead and see what's in it. Now, I want to let you guys know that, Miami Fruit is in Miami. They can ship to all, I think, 48 continental United States, with some exclusions to Hawaii. I think the coconuts, I don't think they have restrictions, so I think they can ship them anywhere. Let's find out what's inside this box. Oh my God, check this out. This is so insane. You guys see what's in there? I got cocos and avocados, right? Coconuts and avocados are probably my two most favorite fat sources on a whole food plant-based diet. I specifically do a raw foods diet, so fruit and vegetable diet. Coconuts and avocados are the most easily digestible fats for me. I'm not going to say that's for you, but these are a lot easier fats to digest than what is in nuts or seeds. Another one that I really like a lot, of course, are olives, but it's hard to get those guys as fresh, and they do need some processing before you eat them, otherwise they'll be very bitter. Anyways, coming out of this box, I mean, literally, we got coconuts that literally just would fall off the tree and then sprout on the beach. If this one was in a little bit better shape, we could actually even plant this, because literally, this is the coconut that sprouted and the roots come out. And you guys can see we have a little palm in there. So we have a number of these. We have one there. We have two. Oh my God, this one can be planted. This is in a really nice shape there. And then we have three. This one looks a little bit tattered, pretty much past its prime there. But yeah, this one looks nice and fresh shape. So normally when I'd be in Hawaii or in Puerto Rico, I'd find these guys like underneath the coconut tree. How this happens is, you guys are familiar with the brown coconut, and that's the inside coconut inside this husk here. And this coconut in the husk basically would be on the tree. It would drop to the ground. It might get wet. It might soak in some water. And basically the shell or the husk absorbs the water, and it basically causes the coconut to sprout. And when it sprouts, it sends up a little shoot just like this. And inside that water, and you guys are familiar with the coconut water, that water literally, and the meat, which is the fat, the water transforms into this nice sponge-like, I could only say angel food cake consistency. It's like airy and fluffy. No other plant food like this on the entire planet. And it converts into that, and then there's like a skin on that fluffy ball. It's like a yellow, and that yellow is like enzymatic action that is actually breaking down and slowly getting the nutrients out of the fat. Fat is basically just stored calories, and in this case the fat is stored calories for the little sprout that literally has to grow once it, whatever, floats across the ocean for 3 months and lands on a desert island in the sand where there's basically not a lot of nutrition in sand. There's all this stored nutrition inside the coconut, which is basically a seed, and then it uses all the nutrition inside there, and then it starts sending out roots, in which case then it can extract the nutrients from the ground, use some of this until the roots get nice and established and grow into another coconut palm that then can produce over 150 nuts a year, which is amazing. And that's the power of this. So when you guys eat a coconut sprout, you are literally sacrificing a coconut tree from growing. So I want you guys to rever and to take reverence in when you have the opportunity to eat a coconut sprout, right? And you should try to plant as many of these as possible. If you guys are in the tropics, of course. If you're not in the tropics, you may be able to grow one of these guys as a house plant, but it'll probably never produce for you, all right? Now, aside from you guys could get these coconuts shipped like this in a husk, which is obviously the best way to do it, because of the fact that if it's like this, literally you could store these for a month or so without any issue. You could plant this; it'll continue to grow. It's alive. That's the best way to get your food. The problem is these guys take up a lot more space in the box, so you're not going to be able to get as many. But the other really negative thing about getting them this way is that you got to open them. And let me tell you guys, it is a pain in the you-know-what to get the coconut out of this in one piece, right? So what I would normally use is I'm going to use a machete. I have a machete. This is my favorite machete, a Meyer Co. stainless steel machete. It's not super long, nice and small, great for cutting up coconuts. Doesn't rust like those cheap machetes. But yeah, I could basically get into that with this, but nonetheless, it's still fairly difficult. So I'm glad to say that Mighty Fruit will make it easy for you guys. They'll husk these guys for you so that you don't have to risk chopping off your hands. And inside the box also we have some sprouted coconuts already out of the husk. Now you're saying, John, man, those just look like coconuts. I could buy those coconuts at the store, man. I have a 99 only store that you like, man. Near me. These coconuts that look like this, they're like $1. No, those are not the same thing. While these may look like the coconuts that you might get at the dollar store or the grocery store near you for a couple bucks, these are way different. And we'll talk about that in a second. But man, I'm just always impressed on how much stuff literally they squeeze into one of these boxes. It's like an endless box. Alright, so that's all the coconuts coming out. And now look at this, man. We have these really nice, huge, amazing, Florida-grown, low-fat avocados. I've grown up with Husk avocados, literally being born in California, eating those my entire life. So I really appreciate these Florida-grown avocados that have a lot lower fat content and a lot more, I don't know, it's definitely not creamy, but it's more watery. But I like it, because it's totally different, and you guys get used to those Husks, right? Anyways, yeah, we got lots of nice Florida avocados coming out here. Oh, I think we got some different varieties too. Like that one's a little bit lighter, this one's a bit darker, and these guys are super huge too. Wow, this one's actually getting soft. And Mighty Fruit, they do an excellent job packing my fruit. I don't think I've ever gotten bad fruit from Mighty Fruit. I could say I've definitely got, fruit that's not as ripe as I would like, but that's all right. Generally, all the fruit will ripen up for you. And they need to ship these guys actually to you guys firm, because if they don't, what's going to happen is they're going to basically get bruised and get messed up in shipping in transit, so that they could ship these guys to you hard. And much like avocados, they will ripen once they've been picked. All right, so that's pretty much what's in the box, aside from a business card and a sticker. I would encourage you guys to put your business card, Mighty Fruit, to remind you guys, like put it on your refrigerator, so that when you're having a bad fruit day, right, look up Mighty Fruit. It'll remind you to give them a call, so you guys can get some amazing fruits, coconuts, avocados. So we're gonna line up what we have here on the table today. Wow, I mean, we got these like super huge, that's almost as big as my head, right? Super huge, big avocados. We got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 avocados, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, a dozen coconut sprouts. So yes, these are definitely not standard coconuts. While they do look like regular coconuts, these are germinated and sprouted coconuts that have been removed from the husk. How do I know this? Well, I know this because out of one of the holes, and on every coconut there's always 3 holes. There's basically 2 eye holes, and if you look at the eye holes, they actually have like eyebrows or ridges, right? And that's 2 of them. And then the 3rd hole is always where the little endosperm, or whatever you want to call it, the coconut sprouts out, and it actually comes out of that hole because it's a soft hole, and then basically it grows into this palm that you guys could see on this side. And what they did was, for shipping, they basically cut that off, and then they sent it to you like this. So if they sent it to you like this, there's a much shorter shelf life, You know, this guy could probably last a month. You know, keep them fresh and whatnot. These guys, you know, I'd give it less than 7 days. So you want to eat these guys if they're like this within 7 days. And it's pretty easy to do. And all these are in different stages of maturity. I could like pick some of these guys up. You know, I tend to like the ones that are a little bit heavier because that means they're going to be more full of water. The ones that are a little bit lighter are kind of more spongy and a little bit more dry. Like this guy right here, I could tell is super light. This guy's pretty light. This guy's pretty heavy, so I think this is the guy I'm going to open up for you guys today. And we're going to show you guys how to do that. So super simple. I mean, basically, if you're not good with knives or anything, you could just basically put this in a couple layers of plastic bags and then smash it against the concrete to break it open. But I hate, oh my God, I hate, it's like a pet peeve of mine, hate opening coconuts in that way because then you get shell fragments and junk all over, contaminating the meat inside, and you got to pick out all these hairs. Just don't do it, guys. I mean, this is really easy. All you're going to need is like some kind of, you know, cleaver thing. I got a nice, this is my coconut cleaver and stuff. But basically, you don't have to like hit this thing hard. You're not going to like whack it in half, you know. You're going to finesse it, right? So looking at the coconut here, I want you guys to think of the earth, right? The bottom of the coconut is like Antarctica, and the top of the coconut is, what's that one at the North Pole, right? So we have this, and the earth spins around, right? And on the earth we have the equator. So you're going to make an imaginary equator line right around this coconut here. And then you're going to take your knife, and even if you have a nice, thick, heavy chef's knife, you could use that also. And what we're going to do is we're just going to tap right in the middle. And you don't got to even tap that hard. We're just going to tap it to like, you know, stress it out a little bit. And we're just going to keep tapping and turning right on the equator. And you can see, you know, this is not taking a lot of strength. I'm not doing it super hard. And soon enough, what's going to happen is it's going to open up like that. And, you know, we have a little bit of the coconut water because this is a younger one. Yeah, it tastes like mature coconut water, not the best. But then what you're going to see is you're going to have basically this stuff. And all the water basically converted to this. This is the kind of the yellow skin that's trying to now convert the white meat into nutrients. So I don't know if you guys can see that meat in there too good, but I'm going to take my finger and scrape out this meat. And look at that. That meat just comes out like oil. And that's because it is like kind of converting into oil. And then literally I could rub this into my skin. And this is nature's truly raw, unprocessed coconut oil. So there's a little bit of water in there. But it's nice and fatty, and I love to scrape this shell stuff and use it on my skin, rub it all over my body, especially when I'm in the tropics, you know, nice mild sun protection, right? But anyways, then we have this guy here, and this is actually the coconut sprout itself on the inside. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and take a knife for you guys. Let's see if I don't know if I'll be able to pop this out whole for you guys. Probably not, because we're still kind of stuck on here on the bottom. Let's see, I'll cut that off there. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to get that out in one piece. But anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut off a slice here for you guys. Let me see if I can show you guys that. Wow, this one's a nice one, man. It's nice and moist inside there. But look at that, when I cut it open, basically, it's like nice and fluffy, like angel food cake. It's almost like a sponge. Like, look at that. I could wring out some water out of there, right? This is like a super fresh one. Like, if I'm ever finding these guys on the beach, it's pretty rare that I get them this wet. So this is quite a delicacy. In Hawaii, they call this Queen's candy, right? And so we're going to go ahead and try that for you guys. Oh my God. This is the most, I swear, this is the most moist coconut sprout I've ever tasted. Now I gotta tell you guys, these guys, you're expecting like, does it taste like that coconut scent that people wear? Well, number one, that's an artificial coconut scent, and coconuts, you know, really don't smell that strong. Number two, I will let you guys know that this is a really mild tasting, like, food. It like tastes really neutral. The sponginess inside, I mean, it's not as fluffy as cotton candy, but maybe between cotton candy and like, I I mean, some kind of freeze-dried fruit, but it's not super crunchy. It's like light and airy. Really neutral flavor. So this would like take on flavors if you're a chef, like want to use it in recipes. I just like to eat it straight because it's so delicious. But the part that actually has the most flavor is like the part on the edge there. It's kind of a little bit yellow. That's the part that actually has some of that fat, the coconut fat from the shell, as well as, you know, it's converting nutrients for the sprout, because literally this is like kind of like the sub-root system that literally feeds the sprout as it's growing to fuel its growth. Man, that's quite good. And the cool thing, every one of these guys that I'm going to open, it's going to be a little bit different. It's probably not going to be this moist. It might be a little bit dry. They're super delicious. I think what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to open another one. Let's go ahead and try to find the lightest one so I can show you guys the difference here. Ah, this guy's like super light. First we're going to go ahead and cut off this little end here. And once again, we're just going to do the tap and turn method. We don't have to hit it too hard. Alright, I mean, I think that was pretty much it. And we're going to go ahead and open this guy up. Oh my god, look at this guy. Oh my god, look at that. That one's really yellow, a lot more developed. I really just like the texture in here. If you had like a camera and took like a really like close-up picture, it kind of looks really cool. I think I'm going to pause the video right now and I'm going to like take a couple Instagram pictures before I continue. So just had to take my Instagram picture real quick before I eat this beauty. And if you're not following me on Instagram, check me out at instagram.com/growingyourgreens or at growingyourgreens. Link is down below in the description. Anyways, now I'm ready, oh my god, to eat this guy. This is the light one. Once again, this was a heavy one that's like really watery, kind of cool. And here's the one that's like super dry, super more mature. You can kind of tell, like, if you got it with the husk on, you could see the size of the sprout. So if the size of the sprout is small like this, then more than likely you're going to get a wetter one, because this one's kind of like younger and a lot of the moisture is still inside. If it's starting to get older like this, you know, has like a lot longer leaves or roots starting to develop, then it's going to be more like this, you know. So I kind of prefer ones, you know, myself on like the more mature but not too mature side, because then it gets really like really dry. I kind of like them in between. So let's go see how this guy is. Maybe if I could get this guy out fully, let's see if I'm able to do that. Carefully get this one whole ball out. I mean, this ball like literally forms inside the coconut. I think I gotta maybe cut this out a bit better. Alright, let's see if I can go ahead and get this ball out. I try to do my best to cut out the little stem end, which usually is the thing that holds it in place. Oh my god, look at that. Got this whole thing out, so yeah, that's with the coconut. Once again, this coconut meat is really soft now. I mean, it smells alright. I don't necessarily usually eat this part, but you could. I use it for body purposes, but this is the beautiful part that you will want to eat. This is truly the coconut sprout, nice and fresh. You can kind of see that it's, you know, nice and yellow there. We're going to go ahead and cut this in half. This is where it kind of germinates from, and this is the part where the palm comes up. We're going to cut this right in half here. And it's basically cutting open like a foam ball. Let's go ahead and reveal what it looks like on the inside. Ooh, look at that. Wow, look at that. Man, I'm going to put my finger in there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it basically it's basically like a fine, like sponge. Like, it's a crazy consistency. And now I'm going to go ahead and eat this mature one. Wow. This is exactly how I like it. It's not super dry. Nice mouthfeel to the outside, the inside. I mean, it's not as light as cotton candy. There is definitely some fiber in there. Yes, coconuts contain fiber. But definitely getting the combination of the inside and the outside. Best. Now, hard to describe this. Coconuts are one of my favorite foods in the entire planet. I love the coconut water. The young water I like to drink, best source of hydration after, juicing your fruits and vegetables. Next, I like to use mature meat to make coconut milk as well as coconut cream, as well as make my own coconut ice cream. Check the link down below for an amazing coconut ice cream I make out of mature coconuts. And of course, I love the jelly meat that I like to put into smoothies, or when it gets a little bit more mature, it's the meat that's good for making noodles, as well as, to put in different recipes or to blend into dressings. And of course, I love the coconut sprout. I'm not a big fan of the dried coconut flakes, right? Not so good. Anyways, hard to describe this. Let's see, what do I say it tastes like? I would say it tastes like a middle-aged meat, right? That has like a really neutral flavor. Not the ones from Thailand, because those are like super sweet. More like a Mexican coconut or maybe Brazilian coconut that's like middle-aged. Nice neutral flavor. Mild coconut flavor. I think the best part for me is the texture, because it's not like slimy or gooey. It's like actually nice and crunchy. Once again, I think angel food cake consistency for the middle. The yellow part on the outside, definitely more crunchy. That's where I'm kind of getting more of the flavor. And I mean, it's just like really neutral. It's like really mild. What does it remind me of? I mean, it doesn't taste like anything else that I could like. It's not like super sweet. Maybe a tad sweet with like lots of fiber in there. It reminds me of eating like a coconut. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's amazing. And if you guys never tried this, you guys got to try this food. I'm glad that Miami Fruit now makes this available for you guys to ship all over the United States. If you guys have never had these, because they are quite rare, you'll probably rarely ever find them in the grocery store. Like, I've never seen these actually sold in a grocery store. Although if you do go to Home Depot, right, they will sell the coconut sprouts like in a pot, like to be grown as a house plant. But I believe they are treated with some kind of chemical, so you don't want to eat those guys, and they're like $25 each. So an easier way is to just order them from Rain. These guys are pricey, I will say that, but you guys have not explored, literally taking half your day to go to a beach to hopefully, cross your fingers, to find coconuts. And sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. It's better if it's an abandoned beach. That's where I've had the best luck, where I found tons of them. But, without doing all that, Rain will ship you guys the coconuts, even pre-husked, so you guys can open them easily, as I showed you guys with the standard chef's knife. Yeah, one of the foods you guys got to try, especially if you love coconuts or want a new texture, or want to experience a new flavor sensation that you guys never had before, because this, like many other plant foods, tastes like nothing else on this entire world. And of course, I can't try for you guys today these avocados, because they're going to take a little bit of time to get ripe. Yeah, they're still pretty hard, so that's really good. These guys, what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and put these in the fridge. I'm going to keep them pretty cold, around 36 to 40 degrees. I should be able to keep these guys for a week, but you want to eat them as soon as possible after you get them, because the longer they sit around, the more chance they have of drying out and then going moldy and going bad, and you'll forget about them. And these guys do cost a pretty penny. Now, if you guys want to order from Rain at miamifruit.org, you guys make sure you use the coupon code OKRaw. It's good for a 5% discount. That was the best discount I could get for you guys. Rain runs a tight ship there. But yeah, every little bit helps. And while I wouldn't be ordering Miami Fruit like, on a regular and consistent basis, for me personally, unless you're like a millionaire or something like that, I think once in a while, once a month maybe, once every few months, or especially during the winter season when there's not a lot of good fruits in season, to get a nice box of cool tropical stuff, is a great great experience. Of course, me personally, I'd rather just buy a plane ticket, fly to Miami or fly to Hawaii, fly to Puerto Rico, and enjoy some of the tropical fruits there. But I know a lot of you guys work and can't travel, so Miami Fruits got the hookup for you. I think that's pretty much the end of this episode today. If you guys enjoyed this episode, learning more about the coconut sprout, how to open them, as well as the fruit from Miami Fruit, hey, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. That'll encourage me to do more videos with unboxing of my crazy fruits that I get from Miami Fruit, as well as other fruits and vegetables I source from all over the planet. Also be sure to share this video with somebody else that has never tried coconut sprouts before, never knew about it, so that they could learn more about another amazing plant food available on this amazing planet. Also be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss out on any of my new and upcoming episodes. I've come out every 5 to 7 days. You never know where I'll show up or what you'll be learning on my YouTube channel. And make sure you click that little bell. Even if you are already subscribed, make sure you click that little bell so you are notified when my new and exciting episodes come out. And finally, be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. I have a ton of videos on coconuts, how to open the Thai coconuts, the differences between the different coconuts. I'll put a couple links down below in the description for you guys to check those out. Coconuts are my favorite food, and I love to educate people about the almighty and amazing coconut. My other videos are a source of wealth of knowledge for learning about how to eat the best, healthiest fruit and vegetable dominated diet in the entire galaxy. Alright, so with that, my name is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, remember, keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables, including coconut sprouts. They're always the best.